Hi everyone. Still haven't found Brian Laundrie. It is strange to say the least. I know everybody's saying them searching the swamp is ridiculous and they should give up. Well, there's a reason I'm sure they're doing that. They wouldn't just put all that manpower and all those people out there just because his parents said he went to the swamp, you know. They must have found something that led them to do that. So we're going to ask about that. What's making them keep searching the swamp? And let's see what the cards say because we haven't heard that yet. So let's see what the cards reveal. We're also going to ask a little bit more. Someone asked, will he be found? I am happy to read the cards and see what they say. It's just the win, you know? I mean, yeah, maybe he will be found, but it might not be for years from now. So, and I would try to do timing, but I'm not the greatest with timing. It's something I'm still learning and I'm experimenting with it. And I'm the first one to admit that I'm not the greatest with it. So, timing is not my forte, but I will ask if he'll be found. I'm going to move the cards down just a little bit so you can see them. You can sort of see me a little too in there. So let's just ask what makes them keep searching. My thoughts are they went to his house, they talked to his parents, and then I think they did the search of the house right after they found Gabby deceased. And that was when all of a sudden I think they were in the swamp, they called off the swamp search and they went right back to it. So my guess is they found something in the materials on the computer and the data, whatever it was, or even some pings from a cell phone. I know somebody else said his cell phone was at home, but there is something. The trail cams that maybe were there. Some other people were saying there were trail cams in the swamp. There is something that's pointing them to there. Now, do I think he would still be alive and still hanging out in the swamp just waiting for them to come get him? No, that would be silly, right? So let's read about what makes the police keep searching for Brian in the swamp. What I'm seeing in my head is a window and somebody on the other side of the window. And so, like looking through the window and seeing somebody, that makes me think he was spotted there. And his car was there. So, um, it makes me think they have a real good feeling that he was there. Was. Now, does that mean he's still there? We don't know. All right, let's see what we get here. So, what makes the police keep searching for Brian in that swamp? It's just this first one. So that's the Page of Pentacles, and he's got his eye on the prize, is coming to me right away. So, again, we were talking about seeing and focusing. They're really focusing on, and a pentacle can be another meaning of it. It's tangible, so something you can touch, something you can hold, and it can mean a body. So they're very, very much focused on finding this something tangible, something you can hold, something you can touch. And I think they really think that there's a sighting, would be my guess, of his body. I think is what this is saying. That I think he's been seen there. I just think he has. Yeah, I truly do. Okay, let me ask for a little bit more on that. See if anything else comes up. Anything more on why they keep, so we have a sighting, it looks like, but why they keep focusing on the swamp? Anything else that we should know about that? Okay, we got something in here. Anything else we should know about that? All right, it's that one right there. Um, so this is the World card. The World is a completion card. It is, I almost said somebody. I will say somebody. Somebody who has completed a journey, has transitioned and is going into perhaps another journey. You can read that several ways. You can read that this person has transitioned from this world and gone into their next journey. You can also read it that the person's looking behind them as they move forward. So the person has kind of um, put their old life behind them and moved forward into another. But I'm really feeling that first definition of transitioning. I really feel this person has transitioned. I know a lot of you don't think he's passed on. Um, he's definitely moved away from. He's completed his journey, is what I'm seeing. So take that as you will. I guess completing a physical journey, but I really feel like he's completed more of his like spiritual journey. Yeah, the lion in that card is very much kind of jumping out at me too. I don't know if he was a Leo or something like that. I'm not too much into astrology, but that lion keeps coming. We're going to ask about the state of Brian. Not state as in the United States, but what state is Brian in? The state of Brian. We're just going to ask. Okay, let's see about Brian. Got two cards for this one. Well, the first one is the Four of Swords, and this is somebody who is lying on top of his coffin. It's not necessarily a death card; it's a resting card. In the transition and now resting, in that context, it does again tie in. We're going to see what this card is. I haven't looked yet, but Four of Swords, you know, resting. You see up here a mother and a child too. Up here in the mosaic, like stained glass, and so they are off in the distance, but he's there laying on top of his coffin. His he's put his thoughts to rest is what I see in this card. He's put his thoughts to rest. Swords are thoughts. Okay, now this will give us more clarity. These two should play into each other, and that's interesting that we saw the mother and child, and here's a child again. Earlier, we saw those like immature acts. Some people were saying perhaps Gabby was pregnant. We don't know that at all. There was like somebody that said there was this picture of an ultrasound on the ground by where their van was. Who knows if that's true or not? But it looks like Brian's put his thoughts to rest. We do see the mother and child up in that window, and now we have child here. And I do feel that all that childish energy that was around the two of them and childish acts are done. And that I just feel like obviously that's come to a rest. And we see the resting here too. And there's like a freedom to this of putting your thoughts to rest. There's a freedom. Okay. Let's ask about Brian currently being in the reserve. That's a big question. Is he there? Isn't he there? So we're going to ask about Brian currently being in the reserve. Tell us about him being in that 25,000 acre reserve. All right, let's see what we get. Brian in the reserve. What's this card? Well, that's the Ace of Pentacles. That does make me think, again, we went back to this. Remember, they are looking for the pentacle. And here's a pentacle. We do have an outdoor scene here. And kind of the pentacle being held in their hand where they're looking for him, and it does make me think he may be there, people. I know it's a weird thing, but um, that they're looking for the pentacle, and then the pentacle here is here when I ask about Brian being in the reserve. I don't know how else to take that. We're going to ask about how he can be found. You'd think they would bring more of the cadaver dogs in. How can he be found? I try not to go that angle, so ignore that I didn't. Who knows? Maybe he's in Mexico, like a lot of people say. How can Brian be found? And who knows? Maybe the dogs have hit on something for all we know. That could have been why they brought in dive teams. That's not something you do every day in the middle of 25,000 acres when 3/4 of those acres are water. You're going to dive team all of that? There was a reason they dive teamed a specific area for sure. The dogs must have alerted on something. We're asking how he can be found. It's going to be funny if we get the moon card with those dogs. Okay. Well, this is the Page of Wands, and that really is just saying keep searching. I mean, the Page of Wands is it's making me think of travel and getting ready to go and being active, and keep on going on land. It looks like I see no water in this card. I really do think if he's in there, he's on land, and that they need to keep actively searching. Just keep inspecting it. You see how he's looking at that wand just really, really intensely? Just keep looking, keep looking. And I know it's not popular because they're taking a lot of, you know, complaints and what have you about them wasting resources and everything in there. It would help if they would tell us a little bit more so we would understand why they're doing that, so people wouldn't be so, I guess, judgmental over what they're doing. But last but not least, will he be found? And remember, will he be found does not mean tomorrow. We're just asking, will he eventually be found? Yeah, it might be a while. It might be a while. Will Brian be found? Okay, I have energy in both these cards. So that's the Three of Cups, and that looks very positive. That looks like they're celebrating, that something has come to, again, a completion, and that they are celebrating and happy. Makes me think he will be. But let's see what else. And then we have this one of a lot of conflict. Five of Wands. So lots and lots of conflict. And to contrast these cards, there's a real cohesiveness in this one. And in this one, there's a ton of conflict. So I do think there's going to be two different approaches to this and struggles to this. And this is going to turn out to be a very something that in the police and FBI and all of them, there's a lot of fighting amongst themselves over this, which is weird, but I guess that's maybe not too uncommon of the different approaches that should be taken. But I do see more of a smaller cohesive group that actually is going to be the discoverers. And while the majority are sort of duking it out verbally over where and what they should do next. Yeah, it sounds like there's like a lot of discontent in that group, where this group has more discernment. So I do think there's going to be a small group of people that are like looking for him sort of correctly, and and a lot of people that will be kind of mad. I'm going to ask again about him being found because I don't feel a clear 100% yes in those cards. I just feel like there's a lot of like these people are really um, got it together and focused and going forward, and there is a celebration, so it makes me think yes. But then you see all that fighting too, so I just want to read a little bit more into that. Just asking for some clarity for that. Okay, got something up here. Will Brian be found? This one for sure. Can pull this one. That's the Three of Wands. It really looks like Three of Wands is he's made his plans and now he's setting off on a journey. So for all those that wonder if Brian is set off on a journey, Three of Wands is, where we said they got to really keep looking for him. Looks like this person is really ready to go and needs to keep looking. So, but it seems almost like there's a pause, and I'm not sure what that's all about. This guy's kind of sitting there waiting for ships to come in, but the there actually are ships here, and this is water, believe it or not. But the water's all murky, and it's not blue, and it's not clear at all. And he may be waiting a long time for ships to come in, I guess is what I'm saying. It doesn't look like it's going to happen overnight. Again, not the best on timing though. And it looks like they've got to keep looking for him. So let me ask a little bit more about that. I'm going to ask for one more card on him being found. Let's see about Brian being found. One more card on Brian being found. Yeah, this one. Well, that's the Knight of Swords. So that where we have this very, very slow, it's interesting. Twice now we've gotten cards that contrast each other. Happiness, fighting, waiting for a while, things rushing forward quickly. So I guess it may be waiting for a while and then things happening very fast. But I do think there's a pause in there. I mean, I guess we're seeing a pause right now, but maybe that pause continues for a little while. And then it's, and I also see when I put these cards down together, this person sort of standing there waiting, kind of waiting to go forward, waiting for the ships to come in, and this person rushing in and kind of putting an end to that with the sword. So maybe they're going to call up the search. That looks like it very well may be likely, and where all this fighting is going, because some people feel like he really can be, and others are like, this is a waste of our time. So I think, again, to find him, they have to keep looking, and it sounds like there's a lot of conflict from what I'm seeing here on to continue to look or to stop. And the people that want to continue to look are actually in the minority. The majority want to quit, is what I'm saying. And they want to put an end to that whole thing. I think a lot of people feel like they are wasting their time out there. I'm not saying 100% that he's going to be found anytime soon anyway. They have to keep looking to find him, and I don't know if they're going to. It looks like there's a lot of strife about whether they should continue to look or not. I read it as yes, he is in the reserve or whatever that is, that 25,000 acres. But it could also be read in a different way, and I'm aware of that too, of him kind of leaving his old life behind him, his old world, um, resting for a little bit wherever he is, getting his thoughts together, and then going forward kind of as a free man, starting over. You see the child, and the Ace of Pentacles again is a new start, new career, new life, new, it's tangible things. So I am aware that this reading could go that way as well. That would be very interesting if it does. But I'm going to ask about his health and well-being one more time. I just that's where I'm going back and forth. Is he here or not? So let me just ask about his health and well-being one more time, because we got that other reading where it said he was with Gabby. So tell me about Brian's health and well-being right now. Okay, let's see what we get. It's this middle one. Well, that's Temperance. I mean, Temperance is an angel. And I kept going back to that, feeling like he had passed with that world card and, kind of resting in his thoughts and in himself. Um, Temperance is balanced. So, kind of as an angel, much more balanced than before. And we did get the cards that said he was with Gabby. And if she's passed away, it does make me think he has passed away too. I don't know that he is alive. I'm really not convinced. I guess time will tell, but right now with these readings, I'm not convinced. I'm not seeing like a death card pop up, but we did get the Tower before and the Lovers for him. And now we get that Temperance as an angel. And I think a new day is dawning for him, and he's in a much more balanced state. You see the triangle and just more like things things are better for him, I think, right now where he is, unfortunately. And I don't see him. I just don't know that he's alive. But we'll see. Time will tell, because this could be read in a different way, and I am very aware of that as well. All right. Bye, everyone. Take care.